As TV so ene ya wada August busum de toso eduonu son afimpienu eduonu siemu emre asuso nsem onsamofo wajebre wasone so kroji sedu kwamusuo mede besum se mass anapanu nsia Kasie bona ansa nanom asede mu odupa enkoma city base properties Ghana Limited amna mo so amasene enana pawe also pass as amanso bienu asaso tonu adankwa da city base ena mekanfo edema anapawe omechi akwan eonungu abaria woni scan guest house no ene bo nswe ni office back nso e wa fie nya to but agbetumi afre 055 1996843 055 city base and also we add value to your home so and na power into first choice media college so eso amasin we ni jinsem twa hu about the newscasting show hosting emsa operation cosmetology editing blogging their family their home kwanda bra na besu bi efri enche chi akwan e onungu abare ne junction mo no ene ben obetumi afrem penifo e wona meswe so 055 405 4939 055 405 4939 ebusuafo yenhwe nsem ebedi akutini bi ewe na anapa ye Kasie bonum Ghana man Penny's Excellency John Dramani Mahama and they Kasie do Penny edinsa Penny assign 10 bills and so abeka Ghana yemra ho sanso ene wonsemfo from so afo a osho efisem so nyamfo Mubarak Muntaka Muhammad so wakeka ne sase akodonate bus ama prison service for na sanso ene wonsemfo from so do ani chiem oh man Ghana Penny original ama vice chairman edama MPP national vice chairman edama MPP ama yokuo no Mustafa Ahmed no so nsem bi abetuja watch say on some Ghana for Kasie so Penny ebe openi bi e wo man Ghana hanuma ba man pepefo edi enimu openi say o sansem na nye no credit Ghana for embo omodi na wontungu sanso on sem from so a ade adiviel impelin for so nsem bi ene futo so ama Ghana driver for watch say on pempi one water ye overloading one hwe na won twa so beboa ama pempi so akonsha wodo a airtime anu so e wa Ghana ha ye quantum power do so nso beboa ama etuo etwa in some way in some way na magic bra me ba sum se mass anapa no sia Kasie bom edin no Abena Sikapa me home so me ba me demu chiemu e ba besum. For me sama akwaba biom aba mass anapa no sia Kasie boyisu afejibre ne tie Kasie bonimu chiemu Ghana man Penny's Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne de Kasie openi assign bills baako do a no so abeka Ghana emra ho na bills bi custom bills 2026 sanso na community service bill sanso na tribunal bills no openi edinsa ashase assign sa bill na no so abeka Ghana emra ho.
The first is the Customs Act 2026, this voluminous document, Customs Act 2026. It incorporates all the amendments that have been done over the years into one single document. And so it codifies all the Customs Acts into this document. It makes it simpler to administer, and it will make it more efficient, and it will seal the loopholes that have made government lose a lot of revenue as a result of the scattered nature of the law. So that has just been signed, the Customs Act. Then we have the Community Service Act. This is an act to provide for non-custodial service sentences for misdemeanors and other such minor offenses. So instead of putting people in jail and government going to have to pay for looking after prisoners, a lot of prisoners, for stealing goods or for committing some very minor offenses, they can be sentenced to do community service for the period that they are convicted for. So there's the Community Services Act. Then there's the Tribunals Act. The Constitution makes provision for the establishment of regional tribunals. Parliament has passed it, and so this law gives effect to the Chief Justice to set up regional tribunals to deal with certain categories of offenses. There's the Maritime and Related Offences Act. These are to cover crimes and offenses that are committed at sea, and it gives effect to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which Ghana is a party to. And so this is the local domestic legislation to enforce that particular Maritime Offences Act. Then we have the Act for the National Defense University. As you are aware, we have set up a National Defense University, and this Act gives effect to that university, accredits the courses, and makes it a legal and a statutory entity. So there's the National Defense University Act 2026. Then we have the Income Tax Amendment Act. This act exempts people who earn the minimum wage and below from paying income tax. And so anybody who is on the minimum wage or below the minimum wage is exempt from income tax. Then there's the Energy Sectors Levy Amendment Act. It is to deal mainly with fuel oil for the factories and maritime vehicles that use fuel oil. Before they were exempt, and there was a lot of abuse. And so now they are required to pay the taxes and then present their evidence for reimbursement. And so it will plug a loophole that has existed for so many years. So there's the Energy Sectors Levies Amendment Act 2026. Then there's an interesting one, the Ghana Cocoa Board Act. I'm sure our cocoa farmers will be happy. It incorporates the reform of the cocoa sector, and it includes our promise that we're going to process at least 50% of our cocoa beans locally. And so this act incorporates that. Aside from that, the promise we made to farmers that they will earn 70% of the world market price of cocoa is also contained in this bill. So promise made, promise fulfilled. Then you have the Value Added Tax Amendments Bill. This bill is to provide for an adjustment in the value added tax. You remember recently we signed with the large-scale gold mines to surrender 30% of their gold to the Bank of Ghana. This exempts them from paying VAT on it. And so there's the Value Added Tax Amendment Bill. And then we have the Excise Act. So this incorporates all the former laws and amendments on excise into one law. And so it affects alcoholic drinks and other such, cigarettes and other such goods, and it blocks the loopholes for revenue leakage. And so alcohol that is imported into the country, cigarettes and all other such duty
so Ghana His Excellency John Dramani Mahama akachi na enim so gusua sampeni fo ahodo na nam sunti ene abeto just say Minister for Labor, Employment and Job Creation eno for Abdul Rashid Pelpo openi ade Ghana man peni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was the ministerial appointment say ono Minister of State for Special Initiative. Sanso eno do eni chiemu e won Kranza South nso a Member of Parliament owo ho no ye no for Emmanuel Kwejo Ejekum ade openi Ghana man peni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aboni din say efi ene ekono ono Minister for Labor, Employment and Job Creation. Sanso ena do eni chiemu o man Ghana ha Deputy Minister at the Mad Defense Enes Broja Jamefi ene de openi asesa na de bre ene ono ye presidential advisor at the national resilience any emergency preparedness sanso ena ewokrata eba amontin so no opani anisa ehya ase enyamfo Felix Kwachi ofosu ebusa for semiton semso edama de ni echiemu ewo so afo hwe efisem so ono so na member of parliament edema adishawo asawase abato preso so eyiro nyamfo Mutaka Mohammed Mubarak openi abono madin ejina kana mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama anemu adonate bus ahodo 33 seat bus edama Ghana prison service na presentation ekoso ewo August busumda etosu eduonunum ewa fimpienu eduonu sia ewa prison headquarters a ewa nkrampuni mountain
Swafo a wono ehwe omaiga na efisem sojumede ewo maimo eyo nimonyamfo Mohammed Mutaka Mubarak enrada
ebusian for na Michael say mass anapanunsia Kasie ebo ene onugu so awuhwe say to ansem so edama dia ade Accra Metropolitan Assembly etwanity a INAMA ewe ni damusa kankofo bakobaku usia wo hye se wo fa kwanbo no so atula refer mu amade hye no ma wo tu kwan akọ awoshin kasoa eni madina no wo hye mu a wo sakan won ewo Central Business District a etwanity an CBD na mani boche se ewo konfonsia na mpenifo esaka won no emumiensa eye drivers anso ena mumiensa nso eye amatefo
Accra Metropolitan Assembly etwanitia ekano AMA ede dwumede bi ahyehyɛ so na be na nsentemu ndewura wo ba ene se wode kokobo ekwa mashinkafo edru enwumre anasa nopa na wo hu se nipa ba peso wo lorry stations ahodo a na wapagya ahyentiade buom akosoro no wonhwe na wontwe wo ho emfimo na no na sabre kasa de enra se wodo ani ekyiremu wo Central Business District won kramantemu a ada AMA ede dwumede bi ahyehyɛ so no no wo fi wo dwumedi ase be nunum enwumrem ekopem nonso ene wo de dwumedi ehye so asabre ka se de wonsa so a driver for ene wo metum bensia asabre ka se wo de won akopie mu ewa posifo a wo hwe nim kwan se wo behwe ede sankrofo nyina akopie mu ewo eye emrenim na wabra dwumedi ekoso no ena Accra Metropolitan Assembly penyina woda wonano onimonyamfo Michael Papo alote echrese eyade Abena sentemo mabude wura se a driver for enhwe no wontwe ho efiri kwan a wofa so etu ahyentiade buomu no no emma brenya dwumayefo enya kwan enkofi anase duro no pakra se wobenya hye akọ onuma so kra no na akoye den na no ene wa chese se wo hwe eye operation of commercial vehicle emra no no eye 2017 na wo hwe eye clause 19F ene clause 19D a eyade amra anaso mumbran etia session kani ebeje hyentiade bo so a eno no assembly no enyi tumanu nti emprepra ye kase omuguso a ede kokobo ekwa mashenkafo nyina se edura najo anase edura no pa no wo se nipa ba peso a na wato ahyentiade bo mo hwe wontwe ho mfim anye saade a ade ebe omufe ebe omutan
Ebusiafo na yeton sem so dia National Security Coordinator COP Osman Abdul Razak odin sem bi atujo a watch say ade a oni ni team ni de mo bo modin ye pa mo de hye egu apono so e de ama 2028 abato a ebekoso o manga ni na ne se opani chese won pempi no sabato ekoso o manga na ha ade abasabasa bi eyi ni tie ne nam so nti amamafo bebre na epram bi so efa so etolo na no won se opani chese ade a wode hye egu apono so a wo hwe nim se afempi no eduonu wotwe abato ebekoso o manga na ha no wabo omode so behwe ama basabasa bia enyi ni ti na the sound sem we na atuja abra kopie mu e National Policy Dialogue Jumedia e course so e crime popuni mantim.
Prevention before campaign season. The action is now. It is easier to prevent political violence before the main event, that is elections. By the time campaign rallies are underway, in earnest, we are managing containment rather than genuine prevention. But we want to be proactive. So recruitment into violent groups commences months prior to the election. So we are already saying it. So security agencies set up. The law exists. Our early warning systems have already flagged this. We can only say that they shouldn't go to sleep and to keep us on our toes.
Ebusiafo na metu akasebo na meguso ka o se mass anapa no nsia akasebo na oni guso a wo hwe se to ansem so da ma ode ye ni echiemu NPP osun kokoko amayekuo no mu na aspiring first national vice chairman the man New Patriotic Party no Mustafa Abdul Hamid opini abamontin so abekasa wo hwe se wana media no so ana wana ma Ghana ha wakaka se ade opini wo to no so aba no be ye opini ana obe first national vice chairman the man NPP amayekuo no ade ode Ghana ha beda ni Islamic State no opini sis ansema wo kanan enye no credit Ghana for embo modi na won to wo madwin mu na the answer na to dwa abra kopie mu Dankwa Institute 2026 Liberty Lecture hanum opini Kasie the answer na to dwa ho.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been presented. This will be the second time the MPP is presenting him, isn't it? And in the past few weeks, this viral video has spilled over into politics, where people are saying, Omunyambedi president president. And they say there's going to be the introduction of Arabic as an optional language at the basic level. And then there's going to be the introduction of interest-free banking. And people have harped on these things and said that there's an agenda to Islamize Ghana. So, Mr. Chairman, I want to ask, is there an agenda to Islamize Ghana? For me, it does not seem that from the political choices of Muslims in Ghana, there's an agenda to Islamize Ghana. If such an agenda existed, Mr. Chairman, the candidacy of Mahmoud Bawumia would have been the catalyst, and his candidature would have been the opportunity for Muslims to rally around such an agenda. But they didn't. So that tells you that nobody has an agenda for anything. The fact that Muslims in 2024 did not rally wholesale behind a Muslim candidate shows that no such agenda exists. Muslim-dominated constituencies like Ayawasu East, Ayawasu North, Asawasi, Ejura, Tamale North, Tamale Central, Tamale South, Sanargu, all voted massively for the Christian John Dramani Mahama against the Muslim Mahamudu Bawumia. So that means that consciously, in the Ghanaian psyche, our religious differences do not spill over into our political consideration.
Ebusiafo Sameton Semso Edamount the Ghana Statistical Service in Pennyfonso Aba Mountain so Edin Sembi Abetuja Watchese. I was to see a dear Ghana building cost inflation Aba for me pa ako 4.0 watch July Yano Chese 9 canina a 14.2% and to see a dear Aqua say Aba for me pa ako 4.0%.
Good day everyone. Here is a number worth holding on to. A year ago, in July 2025, the cost of putting up a building in Ghana was rising at 14.2%. Today, in July 2026, that rate has fallen to 4%. Building cost inflation is now low and steady. But there is one pressure point I want every household, contractor and planner to watch, and I'll come to it. The Prime Building Cost Index, or PBCI for short, turns thousands of market prices into one clear signal. Is building becoming more expensive or less? It tracks the materials, labor, and equipment used to construct buildings. When I say year on year, I mean compared with the same month last year. Month on month means compared with just last month. Now the headline numbers. In July 2026, year-on-year building inflation was 4%, an uptick from the 3.1% recorded in June, but far below the 14.2% recorded a year ago. From June to July alone, prices rose 0.3%. So building costs are 4% higher in July 2026 than a year ago, and only 0.3% higher than last month. Let us break it down. Materials, which make up more than 3/4 of the basket, rose 5.1% over the year, up from 3.9% in June, and down from 13.4% last July. Because they dominate the basket, materials explain almost all the upward pressure. Labor actually costs less. Wages fell 3.2% over the year, compared with a 2.6% fall in June and a 17.5% rise last July. That is what keeps the headline rate low. Here is the pressure point. Plant and equipment rose 18% over the year, up from 16% in June and well above the 11.8% of last year, July. This is the main risk in these figures. What is driving the numbers? The biggest upward drivers were electrical works, metal work, glazing, plumbing, and tiles. The fastest rising subgroups were plumbing at 25.3%, small tools at 22.6%, roofing sheets at 21.4%, glazing at 20.4%, and reinforcement at 20.2%. Providing relief, the biggest price falls were cement, down 9.8%, steel, down 8.9%, unskilled labor, down 5.2%, fine aggregate, down 5%, and skilled labor, down 2%. The simple message is that the basic structural materials like cement and steel became cheaper, while plumbing tools and equipment remain under pressure. What does this mean for key stakeholders? For households, update your budget with today's prices, build in phases, and remember that not everything is rising. Cement, steel, and labor cost less than a year ago. For businesses, price contracts on current evidence. Manage your exposure to plant and tools, and use transparent price adjustment clauses. For government, use this lower inflation window to improve project delivery, monitor plant and installation costs closely, and strengthen artisan skills and local supply chains. My sincere thanks to the market players and market readers who supply our prices, to the media who carry these findings to the public, and to the dedicated staff of Ghana Statistical Service whose diligence makes this release possible. The Ghana Statistical Service remains committed to providing timely, accurate, relevant, and credible statistics for evidence-based decision-making and national development.
Ebusiafo na meto ansem no so edama odi a yeleni echiemu obunu mantem na eboru Adoma Central manager edema driver and vehicle licensing authority a yetwa ne DVLA engineer Isaac Nyakunjan openi edin nsem na efutuo amadorofo awodo Adoma Central watch say awon pempimpo ewo jeni bia behwe se jeni we de ade one day na betumi ede wie sa jeni nso adabafo bi epelin teme peskanti wodi just some hours pe eno so emboa magana so ya kwentu sem so engineer yopeni esa nso edin sem to dwa watch say on pempin adabafo ahodo a watai so overload no so eya na ha adwie pa enti wo se onim so your driver ni wotai cost speed and overloading wotai bi obese se hwe na eja no so beboa ama kwensha basa time no so o quantum power do nso eto ebetwa
sene ye bubo ye accident so a nipa wuo dɔɔso ne ade no ye yesuban a yenhwe ewo ye hyen kamu sebio senka ade aka ye ma ye ni da hɔ na yehu sebio speed a yese ye de nante ekwan bia so because ekwan bia wonam so no any speed a yese wokɔ baby wɔ hɔ no ma ubehu se ya tworo maximum speed limit ebia 40 se ye tworo sa ye mpen kyerɛ se yese wokɔ 40 but de ye pa kyerɛ se speed no abro so say 40 adenti na opese o maintain sa 40 na the red line na ya kire say abro sokra no na yese wokọ nti uhum maximum speed limiter try say obetimi beat no down be 5 kilometers per hour and for so say susu dua ye dia ma say kono enu na why wadwen say that maximum no de ho na opese wokọ nti ekwan bia ne se ne nante so yen doma ha say free high kokuma say baby eni wonum a yese wo drive above 90 kilometers per hour maximum ubetimi akọ should be 90 but nkofo kọ 110 nkofo kọ 120 the mesre ne say yenhwe emirika no emirika because emirika no ekoso accident emirika accident dodo a esin dodo na even ekwan nye kra na say emirika no for ma I think you can save your life nti yen accident ne de dodo na almost about 98% emirika sabi obi beka say okroso me say emirika no ya kan say brake home ana moto no brake home okroso no emirika no ye within na ka obeti break so amagina accident dodo a isi o ye mamu ase no eye bibia ye wo the accidental aspect I say den a isi ena ewu bia enka ye twen hu free enyoma kakra bi hu a enka isi ebi ti se obi abre na ofi se ochena se wajan load bi wo baabi nti se ofo so ase obeba bedru na ye friend say wakofa sa load no nti eden a obre bebem eno no ebema bibi kitwe bi ebesi wo kwan so bia ebetimi ama wakonya accident obre ebetimi ama ube fele weak enti wo thinking ne sene obetimi dey anticipate hazard ne ade nyina ebetimi aba form enti yetimi esesa yen suban a yede etwihyen American tentem enti yen nipa hyen no hye yen sa no na ese ye hwese yen ma yen time no se be ya schedule activities the same day anase be a 2 days interval anase be a me de kofa nyoma na me de kofa no me kofa wi a metimi nya kakra se manka me ho ankofa o me de be ma obi fufuro e ma no so no ske bi a me expect se me nya no mintimi nya nti wakonya nkwanhia wo mistake ba ko no akokofra class ba ko mako be 7
Ebusianfo edikasebo na ekowie ewo Bono East Mountain mu na ebora Nkraza North District Department edema agriculture ade ampenifo akeka musase ayadoye ama registered farmers on nani say ade a donate 1500 bags of fertilizers nkwa edama ekuafo ahodo a wo sample temo na honum na district chief executive edema district chief executive edman Nkraza North Mesinimu no nyamfo Efa Patrick edi adodo alade friend no pato opani edin semi to dwa wo chiemu se wa doya wodu ampenifo keka musase ayama ekuafo no so beboa amado ni chiemu Nkraza North Mesinimu so a ekuayo sem so ebegina yepa na adoye ekoso Department of Agriculture busunga ages busum de atosu edonunim afimpienu edonu siemu saadan enampenifo donation no ema ekuafo ahodo no
aban ni so ade ho ni hihie mu no se be ya yen ekuafo ye ho ebeto ye nti no tete no na ebinu mo wa ye ne subsidy obeji nanka odi sika kakra ye de aba aban se feed Ghana hihie mu no o se yenje na enye kwa efama na yenso ye ho ahen han ye usiafo ne dodo mu no yenya no sade a yepe nemom yenya keto obema bi no onya kese a obema we ya yeje no kakra na ebema yenso ye ho ahen han ye no kwasam ne se we enye politics yenyina ye Ghana fo aban no ba se oba ma yenyina eti abusiafo kakra bi a yebenya bia no na ye de akwa akodi dwuma ese fata we no ye first phase a ye de aba second phase no ebia na yamfre group ye be free different group tu ko na se wonu anya bia ka che ne se we ye first phase aba na de aba de edi kan a aba no e de aba or the next one so ebeba eno so ye be se afre different groups no omonso aba na omonso aka se be ya ekuafo e won Nkraza no ye ho ebeto ye won hihie mu no aba de ye fe no service center beba enche eno no beboa ya ma tractor nom ne niema ye pa ye bre no ono no de beba assembly ha na said am operation areas no agric officer na aboa na manya access to sa niema no na mo de ayemofu ama mo ho atomo
Ebusianfo na ha anamede mass anapano nsia kasebo na ebesi na ansa na no mamenda maboafo yase City Based Properties Ghana Limited so amasin amoto asase a manso bia enyu asase uto wadan kwande a City Based Properties Ghana Limited na mekanfo edama omechi akwan onungwa barrier woni scan guest house ebo nhwani office back nso afem na to boot bibichi wadwan betimi afro na meso 055 1996843 055 1996843 sanso and First Choice Media College so so amasin sem chesku papa agidin man kan ha the newscasting show hosting MC operation cosmetology editing blogging their family their home their bra the best be free and chain ye chi akwan nungwa barrier yani junction 1 and ben post numbers way 055 405 4939 055 405 4939 Ebusian for your insurance sama edi akotini ewo ene agas busum de atosu edonu som afimpienu edonu siamu ene anapa kase ebo ne insurance sama edi akotini bi ewo mu wodo ani chiemu ewo man Ghana ha Ghana man penis excellency John Domani Mahama ene de ade bills baako du de or the Sasha Sen so Abena or my God Akoko board bill any tribunal bill so a counter sound so and I want some food from so I would do any chiemu our my God Hanum so or so for a share if you sam soon and young for Mubarak Mutakam Muhammad and so Abba no more than Ejina Ghana man penny His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and then I adoye Nina Nisawama the Ghana Prison Service for bus sound so and I want some food from so would we any chiemu our my Ghana so a penny phone so answer can confirm say was to say wafa kwamba so artillery fair na wafa kwamba so artillery fair so edama passengers na sound so and do any chiemu Odama Central Manager Edema DVL so ede foot so ama driver for any ama driver for watch say I want to tire overloading and now what tire cost speed pa our quantum pound do so one shot one trust so beboa ama pempin akohia basa time no so our quantum pound do so eto ebetwa in some way in sound of na meje bra me do assume say mass and apanu sia kasebo ebusian for na ha and I made the mass and a pan on Siancas Bonina, Ebesi, Edino, Abena, Sikapa, Macram.
Mass TV.